I'm Kaye and I'm a late bloomer. I was pretty wrapped up in growing heirloom tomatoes last summer, but I had great luck growing beans, and I wanted to share with you my experience with a couple of heirloom varieties I found at localharvest.org. The biggest surprise was one of them wasn't a bean at all. It was a pea. Take a look. Since the front yard was reserved for tomatoes, I'd planned to grow beans in my Parkway food forest. I found Haricot Vert bean seeds at Home Farm Herbery in Kentucky. I was looking for short-season beans, and the chemical-free, non-hybrid, non-GMO Haricot Vert is only 55 to 65 days to maturity. I also wanted a bean I could dry, and I discovered creams from Sharon's Natural Gardens in Delaware. All of Sharon's seeds are also open-pollinated and non-GMO and shipped in handmade art packets. Both were planted May 3rd on the Parkway, in between tomatoes, garlic, and perennials. I only had room for about 10 plants. By May 25th, the Haricot Vert was setting pods. These beans are fighting for survival and trying to reach above this kaboka squash, competing for the bee action. These beans are very skinny. So I cleaned out some of the kaboka squash leaves, and look what I've discovered. My beans have managed to grow vines to try to get up and find the light. And look what we have under here. More beans and, actual beans. Let's go on a little scavenger hunt for beans. This is a bean vine. I know I saw some in here. There's some beans. I know there's more in here somewhere. It's tomato. Oh, there they are. There's some down there. All right, let's see how many we can find. This disease-resistant French fillet bush bean is a heavy producer of stringless, long, slender pods with a delicate tenderness. Exactly 60 days from planting, I got nearly a 2-pound harvest of Haricot Vert, which in French means green beans. And the row of Blue Lake beans I planted underneath the native gem corn with leftover seed were blooming and lush. You can't go wrong with this organic heirloom from Botanical Interests. It's a little one. I planted these a little later than my other beans. It's a great idea to stagger your beans so you have a fresh supply all through the summer. Okay, got a lot of flowers, so maybe I'll have a lot of beans. And the leaves look pretty healthy, so I'm excited. 10 days later, I got my first harvest of Blue Lake beans. It was crazy putting a row of beans between this row of now 10-foot native gem corn and this row of sweet hooker's corn. Gets no sun down there. I had a few issues with pests in July, but I read that beans can withstand 20% leaf loss and still produce. By the 3rd week of July, the green beans were slowing down with only a couple more small harvests. By the end of July, the plants were gone. By August 10th, my 4 creams plants were exploding with beautiful blossoms. They were leaving behind long, skinny green pods. Garden real estate was tied up in tomatoes, so I was happy the creams matured later. Creams are thought to be native to Africa and brought to the U.S. in early colonial times during the slave trade. They became a staple food in the Southeast, where they're eaten as green-shelled peas or left to dry on the vine for later use. A southern heirloom bred to do well in hot, humid environments, the creams benefited from hot Southern California weather, which, with June gloom, can get humid. Pick as a fresh shell bean when the pods are full and turn light yellow. Not as sweet as a sweet pea, it's still enjoyable raw from the shell. You can steam them, add fresh to soups and salads, or dry them for cooking later. What kind of beans do you like to grow? Please let me know, and while you're down there writing a comment, please subscribe. I'm Kaye, I'm a late bloomer. Thanks for watching. See you next time. When I was eating my first raw Haricot Vert seeds from okay, get serious. My friend Dan in Tennessee. Wait for the crow. Gardening is so much fun.